What is up, Fight World? This is Peter from MMA Madhouse at Petorius. You know what it is, bringing you MMA news from around the Pacific Northwest. This week, I will be covering WSOF 32, and today, I got with me a very special undercard feature that you will not want to miss. He is a 10-1 as an amateur, making his professional debut. Everybody, please welcome Tycen Lynn. Tycen, how you doing, man?
Hey, what's going on, Peter?
Hey,
Doing
to have
good,
you
doing
on,
good.
brother. And
Yeah.
you were fighting out of let's see, your fight camp is Charlie's Combat Club, correct?
Yep, that is correct. We're at it here in Everett, Washington.
Everett, Washington, which is where WSOF will be at the Xfinity Arena. You'll be the local favorite, man. Hey, thanks for coming on again, man.
Yeah, no problem, man.
Cool.
Happy to be on.
Ah, good, man. Well, hey, let's get to the run-of-the-mill question. How's the training leading up to the fight? Everything going according to plan?
Oh, yeah. It's been a real long camp. I found out about this maybe like 3 months ago, so it's just been a long camp, and I'm just, it's finally fight week, and I'm just ready to get in there and finally fight someone. Sick of hitting pads,
Hell yeah, man. No, yeah, and you haven't fought since Absolute Chaos, right?
Yeah, it's been a while. I mean, I'm used to like fighting like once a month, once every couple months. So this is the longest layoff I've had since I started fighting. But once I went pro, basically I had a couple guys fall through on me, and then once I got confirmed for this event, we didn't want to get hurt in between, so I just had to sit and wait.
Okay, yeah, and yeah, I was actually there live for that fight there, man. It was crazy how it really led up to that main event, and then like that, it was just over. Just 45
I know,
seconds, man.
That was such a long show too. It's like I got there at like 3 o'clock, and I didn't fight till like 11 or something like that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it was a very lengthy event. Yeah.
Yeah. Even the ref when I was stepping in the ring, he's like, "Get this done quick," because everyone wanted to go home.
That's
so
awesome.
I was happy to be able to do that.
Yeah.
Make it quick.
That's cool, man. Well, man, it's really crazy, man. Like, how does it feel to start your debut as a pro in such a big event like WSOF?
Dude, I just feel so lucky. I know, I know most fighters are, they fight 5-6 times, and they still just hoping for the chance to fight for an organization like this. So, just feel super lucky. I got a great coach, great manager, so he was able to talk to Ray Sifo when he was coming to, when he found out they were coming to Everett. It's right down the street, so it all worked out, All those dropouts ended up, it ended up being good, It'll be a good debut.
Yeah, no, definitely, man. And you are facing Justin Hugo, who's coming off a win and a loss previously, both in SFL as pro fights. What do you think of this matchup, and what do you think of it as a test to your first pro fight?
It'll be a good test. He's a game fighter, so like that loss that he took, I don't even think he tapped out. He went to sleep. So it'd be cool fighting someone like that. It's always fun to fight a warrior. My training partner, he actually fought Justin Hugo as an amateur, so he's been giving me some tips and things on fighting him. I'm sure he's changed a lot since then, but I think he's mainly a grappler. He's got decent stand-up, but, I'm hoping to either, keep it standing, knock him out, or finish him on the ground, one of the two.
Hell yeah, as always, man. Seriously, I'm really glad to be interviewing you, because I've honestly watched you for a long time, watching you in, the AX Fighting combat organization. You're a killer. You are a scary, scary person, might I say.
Thanks, man. I appreciate that.
It's awesome.
I'm not that scary in real life, so.
Right, man? Yeah. So far, you sound like a sweetheart, but,
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, so I'm really curious, and I think some of the fans are curious, so you're 10-1 as an amateur, which it's weird for MMA that actually seems to be like a lot of fights as an amateur MMA fighter, whereas, in boxing, it's like, you can have a 30-3 record as an amateur, and that's normal. So, but actually, so, and beating the people or beating people up in the fashion that you have, you think you would have gone pro sooner. Why is that?
It was mainly a thing between me and my coach. When he said I was ready, that's when I was going to go pro. After that Absolute Chaos show, he sent me a text message saying, I think it's time to go pro because he wanted me and my training partner. We collected all the 125, 135 pound belts around the state. So that was our goal to, and you want to be comfortable in there and get as much experience as you can before you go pro. Before it counts, So, it was funny the last few fights leading up to when I went pro, though. Everyone, when you going pro? When you going pro? When you going pro? So it's nice to actually, finally have my debut the week. It's finally the week of, and I'm just so excited to get in there. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, and man, it's the way it's paid off. You're making your debut at WSOF. That's very smart and diligent of you, man.
Yeah, man, it really all worked out. I'm really excited for this fight.
Yeah, it's cool. And I guess, I'd like to kind of expand on that. I guess, what do you think about fighters who go pro quickly, I guess? I mean, definitely by your standards, like if just after like 2 fights or maybe even they lose a fight in amateur and still go pro, so I guess kind of what you were expounding on.
Yeah.
Do you think fighters should absorb the time as an amateur more?
I think it's more on the coach to let the fighter know where he's at, and if the fighter goes off on his own and just turns himself pro, that's the path he took. There's not a lot I can say about it. I mean, there's no right or wrong way really to do this. I'm sure if, some guy has like, national collegiate wrestling and, he's been in the boxing gym for a couple of years, you may only need 1 or 2 amateur fights and then, off to the races. So it just depends on the person and, the skill level of martial arts that they have. I try not to judge people too much, but, it is what it is.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their own path, so.
Yeah, totally depends on the circumstance, but, yeah, I swear for you, man, you
you're right,
definitely.
though, man, like other states, though, they don't really have an amateur circuit. We're lucky in Washington here that we have so many amateur shows, and it's awesome. I feel really lucky to live in this state.
Huh? How would Washington compare to other places like Oregon or California? I'm not too well based in the amateur worlds of other places, though.
Oregon's got a decent scene, but I know California, like most guys down there, there's like almost no amateur. I hear guys go pro after 1 or 2 fights, so it's more like that in California from what I've heard. I obviously don't have any personal experience down there, but that's kind of what I've heard from, people in my gym, things like that.
Well, man, I'll tell you what, in your case, man, you definitely, I mean, your coaches, I guess, waiting was perfect, but yeah, I mean, the fans were right, man. You should have gone pro a little while ago, bro. You've been wrecking the amateur world.
Yeah, I appreciate that, man. I'm just gotta continue to do so.
There you go, man.
And now I finally get paid. Cool
part. Right? Long time coming, man. Seriously.
Yeah.
Wearing all that gold around your waist, dude. It's about time you got a chip of it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah, man. Did you so your background? Did you go straight into MMA or did you do wrestling or a different martial art first?
Well, actually, my dad, he's a Taekwondo instructor. I grew up doing Taekwondo, just from like the age of 5 until, probably 16, 17 is when I got out of it. I got out of it for a couple of years, did some partying, that kind of stuff. And then, once I was in my, early 20s, I got back into martial arts and found myself in a cage not too much later, It was just kind of the evolution of my martial arts experience. I just ended up, one of my friends ended up asking me to corner him. Well, actually, he had no place to work out and he had no money, but he had a couple of amateur MMA fights, and he just was looking for a place to work out to get ready for a fight. And I was like, come on over to my Taekwondo school. I'll try to grapple with you, do things, and so we practiced for a few months. He got ready for his fight. I cornered him for that. Went to my first amateur show, and it was awesome. Like the energy everything there, I just was like, I got to try this. And then after that, I trained for a couple months and took my first MMA fight after that.
And how'd that go?
It went good. Somehow I won by triangle choke. I didn't really know what I was doing, but that's how I won. And then I took another fight a couple weeks later, like a month or two later, and got just destroyed on the ground. And just I went up against this guy named Zeke Castro. He was like a state champion wrestler or something. Took me down and just beat me up, 3 rounds. It went to decision, but that was my one loss. And then after that, I joined a JiuJitsu school and did that for just straight JiuJitsu for like about 10 months. Got my blue belt, and then joined Charlie's Combat Club after that, and then fought for a few years here.
That's cool, man.
So it's been a cool journey,
Yeah, no, it
and
definitely
then
does.
since then I've won I think most of my fights by submission, 6 or 7 of them.
Yeah,
so it's been cool.
It's
cool.
interesting from what it sounds like. Yeah, you kind of like stumbled into jiu-jitsu. I mean, you're really good on the ground, and I mean, you really have like a sort of like Miguel Torres lankiness to your body. Like, well, when you're on the ground, like your guard is really just, you wrap your legs around the person's back, and like, definitely a problem on the ground. That's interesting. I would have thought kind of some ground game would have been your base, but also you do throw some nasty kicks, so I don't doubt that.
I did a little bit of wrestling in high school, but I ended up giving it up to go to nationals in Taekwondo. So I knew how to grapple a little bit, and me and my friends, just wrestling around all the time. I had those type of friends, so I knew a little bit on the ground, but not, I really didn't know what the hell I was doing, especially those first 2 fights. But I fell in love with jiu-jitsu. When I started doing it, like, that was all I did, and that was all that was on my brain. And I think that's kind of what you have to do as a martial art. You got to just delve in and, just immerse yourself in that specific martial art if you want to get good at it, if you want to get the reps in, So that's what I did, and, it really worked out for me. At least it has so far.
No, that's awesome, man. And, taking a break, I mean, you were so immersed with Taekwondo and, you did it since you were 5, the break, was that just kind of needed? Like, just, did you need to live a little and just be like, okay?
I was burnt out, we trained, we had to, my dad was crazy. He made us like sign contracts and stuff, saying we wouldn't miss a day of working out when we were getting ready for nationals. He ran it like a high competition class. He was like a national competitor. We didn't really do we did like the sports side of Taekwondo, we were into like sparring, and that was pretty much it, just working out and sparring all the time. So, I got burnt out by the time I was, like a senior in high school, senior in high school. Then I just, how things go. You kind of get away from your normal things, and I was doing some partying and things like that. Working and partying, like for a few years. So
yeah, you gotta get that experience,
Yeah, you gotta live a little bit.
Social experiments,
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, man, that's awesome though. Speaking of social experiments, so I added you on the Facebooks, all that. Hell yeah.
Yep.
And first thing I see is you dressed as Ash Ketchum. From Pokemon with somebody else dressed as a Pikachu.
Yeah, that's my fiance Megan. Yeah.
So is it safe to say that you're into Pokemon Go?
Yeah, I'm into it.
How hard? Give detail on the addiction here.
Okay, so it's not like horrible, but like on the weekends now, me and my girl, we'll go on walks through the park. Just we go on our little Poke walks, and
right.
We'll just catch some Pokemon. It's been nice the last couple weekends, so we've been out in the sun, down, we live on Alki, and, it's just beautiful down there, so, we go on some walks and just chill out and play some Pokemon,
Yeah, and I've heard it's actually pretty populated with people specifically playing Pokemon.
Oh, yeah, for sure. There's droves of people down there.
That's crazy. And you said you're in a relationship?
Yep. Just got engaged last February, so we're getting married this coming February. Yep. Thank you, man.
Yeah. No, my buddy who's single, apparently he's using it to get dates. Actually, he's just going these meetups, and he's getting numbers from these girls, man.
Wow, that's awesome.
He's a little
That's one way
bit
to do
of
it.
a goober, I'd say, you know, a little bit goober guy, but
Yeah.
it's working. I don't.
Hey, man. You
Man.
gotta get it where you can find it, I guess, you know?
Dude, ain't that the truth? And you know,
Yep.
I picked it up very quickly, but I saw immediately the whole of addiction where I'm like, okay, this can be life.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure if I want to make it my life yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's more of a nostalgic thing. Like, you know, I grew up like seventh, sixth grade. I had all the Pokemon cards, and I was playing then the Game Boy game, and you know, it's just I don't know. You know,
It's reliving the past, no doubt.
It's like it's ingrained in me.
Yeah, man. It's reliving the childhood, man. I mean, I can't hate.
Sure.
That's for sure. You know.
Yeah, it's funny.
Just crazy how it's blown up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny, I've done 2 interviews for this fight, and both of them have landed on Pokemon Go at some point.
It's it's inevitable. You know, any show you go on, you'll go on CNN and they'll be talking about Pokemon Go. It's that.
Yeah, well,
it's
crazy.
that involved.
I heard it's got like more app downloads than like Twitter.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's like Twitter, Tinder, then combined. Yeah, it's going down
Yeah.
for real.
Nuts.
Yeah, it is,
Yep.
man. But hey, so I guess let's get back on the fights. You know, that was just something I had to bring up.
Yeah, sure.
Get some of your interest in mind. You know, get the fans
Oh,
a
yeah,
little taste of Tycen Lynn.
Yep.
So yeah, you know, I say constantly that you know, you're a killer, all that. I love, you know, you're always going for a finish, all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Always excited to watch fight. I'm sure your training camp attributes to a lot of it, but is there something in your past? Well, so you know, I interviewed Dylan Potter, and he said something that. Well, I asked him the same question, and he said that he used to do some street fights or like these like gravel pit fights back in the day that really just gave him this drive to fight and like sort of that do or die sort of sense in the cage now. Is there something like that in your past you had that just, I don't know, every time you go to the cage, you remember that and it really just kind of gets you in that mindset to just finish or die?
I just get in tournament mindset. You know, I've never been in a street fight or anything like that. Just so much competition Taekwondo. You just get in that. I just get in competition mode, and I get relaxed, and then that's what we're playing. We're playing who can make the other guy quit. So
right.
And I bet I see it as competition. It's never. I try not. You know, I'm not emotional in there. I just try to. You know, I try to do my job, and I'm very competitive. And I just. You know, that's my mindset is. You know, I want to win, and do it as quickly as possible. So I think that's where that comes from, and just you know, feeding off the crowd too. I really like showing off. I guess it's kind of arrogant, but when I'm in there, I just like
when it's in the love of fighting and it's actually directed in art. You know, that's just I call it humble bragging. You know.
Yeah. I would just want to impress the fans, and I want to impress other fighters. That's the goal. You know.
You know, they bought the ticket and you're giving them the ride.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
Yep, gotta put on a good show.
So yeah,
I think
the Taekwondo. You attribute the Taekwondo to that?
You know? Yeah, you know, just being probably Taekwondo. It's just ingrained, you know, it's ingrained in me. Just playing to the crowd, in sparring and stuff like I always had crowds of people around my matches. I had certain people. It was known in like the Taekwondo community that we were like, whenever us two spar, we were gonna put on a show, and everyone wanted to watch, you know. And I just try to keep that mindset when I'm in there doing MMA. You know, it's kind of the same thing, really. That's
awesome, man. Yeah, and you do it, man. Words really don't do it justice, man. If no one's seen you fight, if no one's seen Tycen Lynn fight, who's listening to this, go on YouTube right now and look up any of his fights. The words just don't do it justice, man. This guy is always hunting for a finish. And seriously, man, thank you again for coming on. It's awesome.
Oh, no problem, man. It's a pleasure.
Glad to have you on. And before I let you go, man, you got any predictions for the main 3 main fights on WSOF? Morris versus Hill, Almeida versus Palmer, and brother versus brother.
Yeah, I kind of know Ben Fodor. I don't know his brother as well, but I hear he's got a lot more experience, and gonna be a tough fight for him. That's just a really weird matchup fighting your own brother, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I could not give a prediction to save my life. That's it's just weird.
I honestly don't really want to make a prediction on that, but if I had to pick, I would probably pick the guy with more experience, you know.
Yeah, Carlos.
Yeah, but that'd be a good fight. And then let's see, Palmer. Wait, is it Moraes? Moraes and who's the? I don't remember
Josh
the
Hill.
names. Josh Hill. I'll probably go with Moraes. He's just such a beast. He's looked good his last couple fights, so got to go with him. And I saw the main is, so it's Palmer and I forget his last name. Cappy
Almeida.
I went down to Syndicate. What was it, like a month or two ago, and I got to watch him train a little bit, and that guy's a beast. So I'll go with Almeida on the last one.
Hell yeah, man. Well, that's what's up, brother. That is awesome. Thank you for coming on to my show, Madhouse, all that greatness. Before I send you off, brother, show some love to your sponsors. You got any sponsors?
No sponsors actually on my shorts this time. I'm gonna start looking for sponsors. You know, honestly, I just got a little lazy with it, but I'll start looking for sponsors on my next fight.
Oh, well, here we go, man. We're gonna get you promotion, man, and we're gonna bring some sponsors to you.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. And then you know, Defense Soap actually they product sponsored me, so shout out to them. And then you know, Charlie's Combat Club. You know, I gotta give props to my manager and all my training partners, everyone like that. You know, my friends, my family. And, you know, even my job, too, you know, they're super cool about letting me take time off to pursue my dreams. So, you know,
cool, man.
All those people.
Hell yeah, and you need that, man. You need that, you know, thing to make ends meet, and then, obviously, the weekends do your thing.
Yep, for sure, man.
Hell yeah, buddy. Well, hey, thanks for coming on. Please, come on anytime you want, whenever you got something to promote. You're welcome anytime.
Oh, I appreciate that, Peter.
All right, cool,
yeah,
Tyson.
and you can watch on NBCSN if you want to watch my fight live streaming, and you can get tickets online. Just use my promo code Lynn, Lynn, and you can get tickets at WSOF.com. So.
Oh, cool. Crucial, too. Okay, so yeah, you said NBCSN, is it .com?
Yeah, I think that's where they'll be streaming the fight.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, man. All right, NBCSN.com. That'll be where you can watch the greatness, and you can watch a big move for Pacific Northwest Fighting, man. This is huge.
I appreciate that, man.
Yeah, buddy. Can't wait, and look forward to seeing you compete.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, have a good day, man.
Yep, you too. Take it easy.